You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. I've got your early weekly spoilers for September 2nd through 6th. We are going to see Sharon Newman with a score to settle and Adam Newman playing very dirty. We are going to dive into those, but as we always do on early edition day, we go through what's happening the rest of this week just to give you some context for next week so the spoilers all make sense. With that in mind, we are going to start on Wednesday, August 28th. So the day before, Billy came to Adam's place drunk, calling him a coward, dropping that truth bomb and then left. And yeah, Adam is completely cornered. Sally is in a rage about not even so much about the cheating, but about the weeks and weeks and weeks of lying. And once again, thinking that, she can't handle something because he tried to make an excuse like, oh, I didn't want to tell you because it was the death anniversary of the baby we lost. And that really sets her off. She's like, don't even, because she didn't even want to remind him that it was the baby's anniversary of their baby's death because she was so worried about him stressing over Connor. And as it turns out, he was stressing over banging his ex. So yeah, she is right to be mad. And Adam says some stuff that sounds to her like he's bringing up his daddy issues. She's not having any of his excuses. And then Adam tells Sally that something is dead inside of him and he pushes away people that he loves and that love him. Sally, of course, is absolutely furious, thinks he made a fool of her, that he's selfish, he's a liar. All of that is accurate. And he is trying to stop her from leaving. And so he suggests couples therapy. And she's like, hard pass. And then Adam insists he's changed. She's like, no, you didn't. You literally just did this. And then he's like, okay, well, I want to change. And so Sally asks if any of what went on in Baltimore had to do with love in his heart for Chelsea, like residual feelings. And he thinks about it and he finally says yes, which is interesting because Chelsea says the opposite when talking to Billy. So also on Wednesday, Chelsea and Billy have scenes and she wants Billy to forgive her. He's not sure he can, but at the same time, he's also worried about dumping her and then her being back on a ledge. Like he literally saved her life before. But Chelsea insists to Billy she's okay. That's not going to happen no matter what happens with them. He asks her about feelings for Adam. And unlike Adam, Chelsea said there's no romantic feelings between them. So I don't know if they're one-sided or if she's deluding herself or if she's lying to Billy. I don't know. But Billy and Chelsea do talk about how it would be very stressful and upsetting on Connor if they break up. But Billy's still not certain that he can stay around her. So he's got to take a little time out and think about this. Victor wants Kyle to fire Claire because he wants Claire working at Newman, not being a nanny. Kyle refuses because he says Harrison needs consistency and he thinks that Victor should, worry more about his great-grandson than getting Claire back into the fold right now. Jack and Diane have a very tense talk about work issues at Jabot. She's noticed some low-key disrespect and wonders if Kyle was trash-talking her to some of their employees. And Jack said, sounds like something our kid would do. And then they talk about Kyle's ongoing anger about her being out of his life for so long after she faked her death. And, Jack's forgiven her and Kyle seemed to, but it's just like everything's rubbing Kyle the wrong way. So they are very worried and they want to try and sort this out. Tracy Abbott shows up to the mansion, talks to Jack and Diane and says she's moving back to Genoa City for good and that Alan Laurent is also relocating there with her, but he's going to be staying over at the GCAC for now while she is at the family mansion. Thursday, August 29th, Nikki Newman offers Lily Abbott some perspective on the past and a little history lesson. And I'm guessing this has to do with Chancellor, since Chancellor Industries is the hot topic between them. Now, of course, Billy has fired Lily It seems like up to this point, she's not necessarily done anything. And I don't know if she's not reaching out to Jill because Jill is sick and she doesn't want to stress her out. But after this conversation with Nikki, things may change from Lily's perspective. And Victor is looking to make the most of the distance and the angst between Kyle and his father, Jack, right now. And again, Victor is looking for revenge for very stupid reasons. In the past, there have been legitimate reasons, but he's mad that Jack sacrificed his own sobriety to save Nikki. Nobody else in the whole family thinks that that's anything for him to be upset over. Nick even told Victor that he thought Jack was heroic. And of course, Victor didn't want to hear that. So that's my problem with this plot in general, is just the foundation of it is very flawed. There's not a good reason for Victor to be acting this way. And they have had good reasons to go at each other in the past. To me, it's bad writing. Cameron is back in Sharon's mind. You know, she's hearing him, she's seeing him. And with all the stress of Faith's car accident that is churning up all of Sharon's memories of how they lost Cassie Newman, he is pressing deeper into her psyche and encouraging her to lash out. And again, she told her family she's on new medication. I don't believe that for a second. Otherwise, she wouldn't be having these visual and auditory hallucinations to start with. We're going to end this week on Friday, August the 30th. Claire confronts Summer. I initially thought she might be complaining to her because she got fired, but Kyle said he won't fire her unless something changes, and he does by then a confrontation between them seems very strange. I'm interested in seeing what happens. Nick, oh my goodness, I feel like he's making a misstep as the week ends because he opens up to Phyllis and talks to her about what Sharon has going through. Nick already told Phyllis that Sharon's kind of having a little crisis, and that did not stop Phyllis from being a total big old B to her. So I don't think Nick should even be talking about Sharon with Phyllis, but he's going to do, the Nick thing. Heather has some tough love that she serves on her daughter, Lucy Romalotti. And, Lucy's out of control, absolutely out of control. And Heather has been there more for this girl who's not even her stepdaughter, that she's raising as her own, more so than Lucy's dad, Daniel, has. And I think Heather's at the break point where she's like, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. She's ready to straighten her out. That takes us into the action for September 2nd through the 6th. So Billy is reeling from the personal drama with Chelsea cheating, and then also with business drama with firing Lily, with knowing that despite what he said, Victor is coming for Chancellor. And, Jill's not going to be happy when she finds out what he's been doing. He's kind of running amok, but very soon he is going to get another co-CEO sharing the big chair with him. Now, it's not clear if this is something that Billy sets up to try and appease Jill, or if it's something that Jill foists on him because she's so angry at him. And I do wonder if it's going to be Chancellor. That would probably make Jill happy and might kind of salvage the anger she's going to have about him firing Lily. Faith and Lucy's accident wreaks absolute havoc with Sharon's mental health. She's spiraling even more. Nick is worried sick. I do wonder if Faith is going to tell her dad that Sharon is having Cameron Kirsten nightmares. That's good information. Daniel or Lucy may be in peril if Sharon caves to Cameron pushing her to exact revenge. Kind of that theme of the Romalotti bad influence is trying to take another daughter from her. I mean, that's a motive, even if you're not in a spiral. Jack and Diane strategize on how best to cripple Glissade, but I do think they're just going to alienate Kyle more. Adam begs and pleads with Sally to take him back, and I do wonder if he's going to wind up brawling with Billy. And I'm wondering if there's any chance that Billy and Sally may get physical as they commiserate over the cheaters and liars that they've been seeing, because I have no doubt, since they've been talking so much, that now that this is all out out in the open. They are going to have a talk. And Victor intensifies his scheme to rip Chancellor away from Billy, and Adam may be more open to playing dirty now that he is blaming Billy for ruining his relationship with Sally when we all know it's his own gosh darn fault. Those are all of our early edition spoilers. Please subscribe if you're not following us already. Definitely drop your comments on what storylines have you excited right now. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I'm here talking Y&R with you guys 7 days a week.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.